I don't think I've seen anything like it since Messi.
He's the chosen one.
Yeah.
He's the chosen one.
I think he's the best player in the world, to be honest.
The 17-year-old, I think, is doing things that no other 17-year-old's ever done in football, I think, at the moment. I don't know if there's anyone more exciting to go to a stadium.
He might go on to equal Messi.
The best player in the world right now is Lamine Yamal.
Danny Rodriguez, the man chasing. It's Lamine Yamal. Oh. What a magnificent goal that is.
If you copy Lamine Yamal's skills, you'll fail. Because the scary part of his dribbling isn't the flashy moves. It's everything he does before touching the ball. The way he freezes defenders, hides his next touch, and waits that extra half second. That's why nobody can read him. So in this video, I'm breaking down the dribbling details people completely ignore. And at the end, I'll give you the exact training plan to practice it yourself. Most players telegraph exactly what they're about to do. You can watch a winger receive the ball, and within about half a second, you already know where it's going next. Because their body is already pointing there, their foot is already angled that way. Their eyes have already flicked to that space. Defenders are trained to read this. From the age of about 12, every decent defensive coach is teaching their players to watch the attacker's hips, watch their feet, watch where their weight is shifting. It's pattern recognition. After a few years of doing it, it becomes automatic. You don't even think about it. You just know. Yamal has found a way to break that pattern almost entirely. Watch how he receives the ball. When the pass arrives, his controlling touch doesn't commit to a direction. It lands in what coaches call a neutral position, directly underneath his body, slightly ahead of his standing foot, with his weight balanced centrally. That sounds incredibly simple, and technically it is, but the effect it has on defenders is massive. Because now the defender has no information. The ball is there. Yamal is standing over it, and he could genuinely go either way. Left, right, cut inside, drive forward, everything is still possible. The defender's brain is now in what psychologists call a decision paralysis state. They have to wait. They can't commit. And the moment they can't commit, they stop moving. And the moment they stop moving, Yamal already knows which way he's going. The key technical detail here is the angle of the controlling foot at the moment of first touch. Most players, especially younger ones, open their foot slightly toward where they want to go. It's a tiny movement, maybe 5 or 10 degrees, but it's enough. Defenders pick it up subconsciously. Yamal's first touch lands with a foot square, the toe pointing forward, the ball placed centrally. No information given. The second thing he does, and this is genius, is he uses the inside of his foot to receive the ball even when he's going to go outside with the next touch. And vice versa. So even the controlling surface is a misdirect. To train this, forget about doing it at full speed. Start by standing still with a ball and practicing receiving it with a neutral touch. Ball under your body, weight centered, foot square. Do it 500 times. Then do it with someone rolling the ball to you. Then walk, then jog. Speed comes last. The habit needs to be built first. This one sounds obvious. Everyone tells you to keep your head up. Every coach you've ever had has said it. But nobody actually explains the mechanism behind why Yamal's version of it is different to what you're probably doing. Here's the difference. Most players look up between touches. They take a touch, glance up to scan, look back down for the next touch, glance up again. It's like a lighthouse, rotating, scanning, rotating. And it works okay. It's much better than staring at the ball constantly. But there's still a delay. A split second where your eyes go back down, and in that split second you lose track of the defender's position. Yamal almost never looks down. And it's not because he has supernatural ball control. It's because of how he trains his peripheral vision and how he uses the feeling of the ball underfoot to replace the need to look at it. The technical term for this is proprioception, your body's ability to know where things are without looking at them. Your hands, for example, are incredibly good at this. You can type without looking at the keyboard. You can button a shirt without looking. That's proprioception. Yamal has trained his feet to work the same way. When the ball is rolling at a specific speed and weight, he can feel exactly where it is relative to his foot without seeing it. He knows when it's a fraction too far ahead. He knows when it's sitting perfectly. And because he's not wasting time looking down, his eyes are permanently fixed on the defender in front of him. And this is where it gets really interesting. Because when you're watching a defender's hips, feet, and shoulders at close range, you can see them shift weight, sometimes before they even consciously decide to shift it. The human body gives off tiny micro signals of movement. A good dribbler picks these up and reacts. It's almost like he knows what the defender is going to do before they do it. He doesn't. He's just reading the signals. How do you train this? Juggling is part of it, but it's not enough on its own. The real exercise is what's called blind dribbling. You set up cones, you dribble through them, and you keep your eyes completely fixed on a point straight ahead. A mark on the wall, a cone further away, anything. Not the ball, not the ground. You're forcing your feet to find the ball through feel alone. It's uncomfortable at first. You'll lose the ball constantly. That's fine. That discomfort is where the adaptation happens. Do this for 10 minutes at the start of every training session. Not full speed. Slow, deliberate, focused. Within a few weeks, you'll notice you're losing the ball far less when you look up in a match. Within a few months, looking up will start to feel natural instead of forced. Here's something that barely anyone talks about, and it might be the single most transferable thing in this entire video. Before Yamal touches the ball, before his foot even makes contact, his shoulders have already told a story. A false story. A story designed to make the defender move in the wrong direction. This is called a pre-touch fake, and at the elite level, it's one of the most reliable weapons in a dribbler's arsenal. The reason it works is rooted in basic human neurology. When you see someone's upper body lean or rotate, your brain automatically predicts the direction of their movement based on that lean. It's an instinct. You can't switch it off. Babies as young as 8 months old already show this prediction behavior. It's that hardwired. So when Yamal drops his left shoulder before receiving a pass, every defender watching him is now involuntarily expecting him to go left. Their weight starts shifting, their feet start adjusting, and then Yamal takes the ball to the right, and the defender is already mid-lean in the wrong direction. The beautiful thing about this is how small the fake needs to be. We're talking about a shoulder drop of maybe 10 to 15 centimeters. A weight shift that lasts less than a second. You don't need to sell it like an actor. You just need to move your shoulder before your foot touches the ball, and the defender's brain does the rest. Watch Yamal in slow motion. Pause the video just before he receives a pass in a wide area. You will see his head and shoulders move before the ball gets to him. Every time. It's not accidental. It's a trained habit built over thousands of hours of repetition, starting from when he joined Lamine at age 7. To train it, find a partner. Have them stand 2 meters in front of you, acting as a passive defender, not pressuring, just observing. Someone else plays you a pass. Your job is to always do a shoulder fake before the ball arrives. Do this for 20 minutes a session. Make the fake automatic. Make it part of the receiving action rather than something you consciously decide to do. Once it's automatic, you can start varying which direction you drop. Drop right, go right. Drop right, go left. Drop left, go right. Now you've got a genuine 50-50 weapon that costs you almost zero extra energy. Every single successful dribble in football comes down to one thing. Not speed, not skill, not technique, balance. Specifically, destroying the defender's balance before you make your move. A defender in a balanced position, weight centered, feet roughly shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent, is almost impossible to beat with pure speed. Even if you're faster than them, they can set their feet and show you toward the line or cover across. But a defender with their weight on one foot, or leaning forward, or in the middle of a step, that defender is vulnerable for about half a second. And half a second is all you need. Yamal is exceptional at creating these moments. And the main tool he uses is something called the approach angle. When he's carrying the ball toward a defender, he doesn't come at them in a straight line. He comes at an angle, usually slightly toward his stronger side, his left, which is his dominant foot. This forces the defender to adjust sideways. They have to shuffle across. And shuffling, by definition, means there are moments when most of their weight is on one foot. The second tool is what coaches sometimes call the hesitation step. As Yamal gets to within about 2 meters of the defender, he slows down just slightly, just for a fraction of a second. This does two things. First, it makes the defender think he's about to stop or go backwards, which causes them to momentarily pause their pressing movement. Second, it resets his own weight to a neutral, explosive position. He's slow, they're paused, and then he accelerates, and the defender has half a meter of lag to make up. The third tool, and this is the most subtle, is the ball position during the approach. Yamal keeps the ball slightly to the side of his body, not directly ahead. This means the defender can't be sure which foot he's going to use, which again forces them to hold their position rather than committing. The moment they stop committing, they've already lost. The drill to train this is simple but exhausting. Put a cone on the ground representing the defender. Carry the ball toward it from 15 meters away. As you get close, work on your approach angle, your hesitation, and your ball position. Then pick a side and accelerate past it. Do 20 repetitions on each side. Then do the same with an actual defender who is only allowed to mirror, not tackle. Feel how your approach affects their movement in real time. This one is counterintuitive. In fact, when most players first hear it, they think it's a mistake. Lamine Yamal deliberately takes bad touches. Not always, not constantly, but at specific moments, he lets the ball run a little further ahead than ideal. Gives it just a bit too much on the first touch. Makes it look, for half a second, like he's lost control or he's in trouble. And defenders are trained to exploit exactly this situation. When the ball is away from the attacker's feet, that's the moment to press. Close the space when the ball done. So when the defender sees the ball run ahead, their instinct fires, go get it, and they lunge forward. Except Yamal knew they were going to do that. He invited it. He set the trap. Because the moment the defender lunges forward, two things happen. They're committed, they can't change direction quickly, and their weight is now forward and low, which means they're incredibly vulnerable to someone stepping over them and going the other way. Yamal's reaction to a lunging defender is to use a simple step over or a drag back, exploiting the exact momentum the defender has given him. The lunge that was supposed to win the ball instead gives Yamal a clear path behind the defender's back. This is incredibly high-level football intelligence. It's not just about what you do, it's about designing what your opponent does, controlling the situation rather than reacting to it. You're not hoping the defender makes a mistake. You're engineering the mistake. The important thing to understand about this technique is that it only works if your recovery touch is fast. The window between the defender seeing the loose ball and arriving to win it is about 1 second. You need to have the ball under control and your next action initiated within that second. If you can't do that, the loose touch just becomes an actual mistake. So the training for this is specifically about recovery speed. Take a touch that pushes the ball forward, then sprint to it and get your next touch away within 1 second. Do this over and over. Time yourself. Get it down to 0.8 seconds. Then 0.7. Your recovery needs to be automatic so that when you deliberately invite pressure in a match, you're not guessing. You know exactly how much time you have. There's a moment in almost every great Yamal dribble where you think, that's it. He's gone too long. The defender is right on him. There's no way out of this. And then somehow, impossibly, there's a way out. And the defender is 2 meters behind him. The reason comes down to something called reaction time, and specifically the gap between a defender's intention and their execution. When a defender decides to lunge or commit, there's a physiological delay between that decision and the physical action. The brain sends the signal, the muscles receive it, the body moves. This delay is roughly 200 milliseconds, about a fifth of a second. It doesn't sound like much, but at sprint speed, 200 milliseconds is the difference between winning the ball and missing completely. Yamal waits. He keeps the ball. He holds the defender in an uncomfortable halfway position, close enough to pressure, not close enough to tackle, for as long as possible. The defender has to keep adjusting. They're stuck between two uncomfortable options: lunge and risk being beaten, or hold position and risk Yamal just running past them. Neither option is good. And then, at the exact moment the defender starts to commit to one option, Yamal goes the other way. He's not reacting to the defender's movement. He's reacting to the signal. The micro lean, the weight shift, the shoulder drop, that comes 200 milliseconds before the actual movement. He's gone before the defender has even finished deciding. This is why Yamal so often looks like he's done it too late, then somehow escapes easily. It looks late because he's waiting for the signal. And the signal only comes when the defender is actually committing. If he went earlier, before the defender committed, they just readjust and block him. By waiting, he turns their commitment into his advantage. This concept is called reading the tell, and it's the highest level skill in 1-versus-1 dribbling. It takes years to develop naturally, but there are ways to accelerate it. The best drill is 1v1 in a tight corridor, about 2 meters wide and 8 meters long. The only way to score is to dribble past the defender. The corridor forces the defender to commit quickly, and it forces you to read and react at close range. Do this for 15 to 20 minutes regularly, and your reading speed will improve significantly. It's uncomfortable and intense, which is exactly why it works. The second drill is watching film, but watching it in a specific way. Take a Yamal highlight. Watch the defender, not Yamal. Pause the video every second and predict what the defender is going to do next based on their body position. Then unpause and check. This trains your brain to read body language faster, and it directly transfers to match situations. Everything in this video is worthless if you don't practice it. And practicing it randomly, just going to the park and doing some dribbling, won't be enough. You need a structured approach that builds these skills progressively. Here's the exact plan. For sessions a week. Each session is about 45 minutes of focused technical work. You can do this before or after a team training session, or on your own days if your club doesn't train every day. Session 1 is foundation work. This is where you build the habits. 15 minutes of blind dribbling. Head up, eyes fixed ahead, feeling the ball with your feet. 10 minutes of neutral first touch, receiving the ball with a square foot, weight centered, no direction given. 10 minutes of shoulder fakes before receiving, partner or solo against a wall. 10 minutes of the 1v1 corridor drill. This session feels slow. That's intentional. You're building motor patterns, not fitness. Session 2 is combination work. This is where you start connecting the individual skills into sequences. Set up a course. Receive with neutral touch, shoulder fake, carry toward a defender, cone or person. Use approach angle and hesitation, then go past. Do the sequence slowly first, then build up to match speed. 20 minutes on the full sequence. 10 minutes of corridor 1v1. 15 minutes of recovery touch drills. Push it forward, sprint to it, get the next touch away fast. Session 3 is pressure work. Everything you've trained, now under time pressure. A defender who is trying to win the ball. Small-sided games where you get points specifically for dribbling past a defender rather than passing. This is where the brain learns to access the techniques under stress. If you skip this stage, the skills stay in the gym and never show up on match day. Session 4 is film and feels. 30 minutes of game footage, watching defenders, reading tells, pausing, and predicting. Then 15 minutes of slow-motion technical work, just making sure the habits feel right. No pressure, pure muscle memory consolidation. Do this plan for 8 weeks. After 8 weeks, you will not be Lamine Yamal. Let's be honest about that. He has been training at La Masia since he was 7 years old. He has had world-class coaches every day of his footballing life. He is a generational talent. But here's what you will have after 8 weeks. A first touch that gives away nothing. A habit of keeping your head up that actually sticks. Shoulder fakes that fire automatically before you receive. An understanding of how to move defenders before you beat them. The ability to hold the ball under pressure longer than you could before. And the beginning of reading body language in real time. And that is an enormous amount. That is the difference between a player who gets dispossessed under pressure and a player who turns that pressure into an opportunity. That is the difference between dribbling being a gamble and dribbling being a weapon. Yamal didn't wake up at 18 able to do this. He built it, touch by touch, session by session, year by year. The methods are available to anyone. The only thing that separates the players who develop them and the players who don't is whether they actually go out and put the work in. Now you know exactly what to work on. The question is whether you'll actually do it.